JJ the CPA here. Let's run through the break-even point of whether you would get a PPP or the EIDL, which is otherwise known as the SBA COVID-19 Disaster Relief Loan. So in terms of, you really can only get one or the other, okay? The SBA COVID-19 disaster, the loan, otherwise known as the EIDL, okay? That was in existence before the CARES Act. The PPP came into play last Friday, okay? Two separate types of loans. And I want to talk through the break even, but just a little bit of make sure you know, okay, and a couple of things here. One, on the PPP, you can only get it through a bank, and I'll do a close-up at the end if you want to do a screenshot of this. And on the EIDL, okay, it's only through the SBA Gov website. And what I've got up here is that EIDL is also known as the COVID-19 disaster loan. So when we're looking at this, okay, can't get both. They're really meant to help in the same regard. If you get both, one offsets the other, and you get yourself in a situation where you're not going to be able to forgive the amount that it offsets. So you'll just need to see, I've got a couple of videos on if you get both, and all you need to know is you can't. So now I'm doing this video to go, hey, well, what's the break-even point? You know, like, you know, depending on where my income is, how do I know when I should get a PPP or when should I get a COVID-19 EIDL? So we're gonna do the break even. So the thing to know is that on the EIDL, it's basically 10 grand. It's just a flat 10K basically of those that I know that have applied for it. And you don't pay it back, okay? And again, that was in play before the PPP. So on the PPP, if you've seen my other videos, you know how we calc it. And so I've got lots of videos on how to calc it and what documents you need and going over the application. You should definitely check those out. But here's your break even. 48,000. So if your payroll costs, okay, so if you've got employees, your payroll costs being what the employees got paid and your health insurance and your retirement match, right? You take those three together. Or if you're self-employed, now this is the part that we're still waiting here on April 1st. We're still waiting for more information to define what this is. So, or how you come up with it. But either way, the break-even number stays the same in the sense of 48,000. So 48,000 divided by 12 to get to your monthly amount at a factor of 2.5 is 10,000. So the break-even point is 48,000. Now what's that also tell us? Well, what it tells me is, because I was doing a video here just a little bit ago and I was running through the analysis and I was like, well, it'd be good to try, you know, like what is the break even? Sorry for the lights. I put my studio up and then I realized I needed to, that I wanted to do one more video. So what this tells me is that if I've got a client, or if this payroll cost for the annual or your self-employment for the annual is 48,000 or less, might as well just go with the COVID-19 EIDL because you're going to get 10 grand. So now if I'm now taking the approach of this. Okay, the approach is now what would be the benefits of PPP versus the benefits of EIDL. Okay, the benefit of EIDL is that it is online, simple, SBA.gov. Okay, you fill out some information, you're supposed to get the money pretty quick. Okay, you don't pay it back. Boom. Now the PPP, it goes through a bank. There's an application. It's not that it's a hard application. It's pretty easy. I've got a bunch of videos on that as well. I've got a playlist called PPP application. It's not a big deal, but you got to go to a bank and, you know, just extra effort, right? Got to interact with them and get them their info, and got to come up with tax documents and things to that effect. More documentation here than here, okay? So with the PPP, it is a forgivable loan, right? So if you spend it on the right things within 8 weeks, then it's a forgivable loan, okay? But if you're making $80,000 or less, then the extra effort to go to the bank and get it, yes, it can be forgivable, but there's a chance that it's not forgivable, because if you don't spend it on the qualified expenses, see my other videos on that, then you may actually have to pay some of this 10 grand back, right? So if you're whatever this, your payroll, your self-employed income, okay, that's payroll and retirement match and health insurance, okay? So either one, if it comes to 48 grand divided by 12 times the 2.5, you're getting 10 grand. So if your starting figure for PPP is 48,000 or less, it makes a lot of sense to then just go with the EIDL and get your money. If you're not going to pay it back, it's easier, it's quicker. Now, where you get into, well, when do I want the PPL, is obviously you're making more than that. So it need to be a decent amount more than that. Okay, you run the numbers. And then I've got plenty of videos that you can't do both, because they're for the same purpose. Okay, you can't do both. You're getting both things from the government. They're gonna be aware, straight up. So if you're going, hey, either or, which one do I want to do? If your income or your payroll cost is 48,000 or less, go with that EIDL. Basically, your break even is the 48,000. All right, hey, thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. I would really love it if you would take a minute and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then I'm going to do a freeze frame, or whatever you want to call it, so that if you want to screenshot this, you can. And then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. All right, here comes the screenshot opportunity. Let me get this, where if you want to take a screenshot, let's see, right. And I've got this website that you see up top, www.jjthecpahelp.com. So know this, I'm not taking on any new clients. You won't enter in any information. I don't want your information. On that website, you won't even find how to get a hold of me. There's no funnels, nothing. The only thing you could find, and it's not even on that website, but the only thing you can find online that I'm selling is my book. And I even knocked that down to $12.33, which is, you find it on Amazon, but you're not gonna even, you're not gonna even find a link to that on JJ the CPA Help. It's just a community service website to help. So, all right, be well. Hopefully this helps. It'll get better. We're gonna get through this. JJ the CPA out.